depression and despair, loneliness in kids. And I don't think that there's a single cause to it. And I think blaming it on, depression about climate is probably oversimplistic. And in fact, I think a lot of the problems we see in kids, and particularly boys, it's probably underappreciated that how much of that is coming from chemical exposures, including a lot of the sexual dysphoria that we're seeing. That these kids are being overwhelmed by a tsunami. I mean, they're swimming through a soup of toxic chemicals today, and many of those are endocrine disruptors. There's atrazine throughout our water supply. Atrazine, by the way, if you in a lab put atrazine in a tank full of frogs, it will chemically castrate and forcibly feminize every frog in there, and 10% of the frogs, the male frogs, will turn into fully viable females able to produce viable eggs.
Turn the friggin' frogs gay.
And when Alex Jones said this, people called him crazy.
Bob, drinking out of these estrogen mimickers. In fact, they'll probably say it if it's lined with it inside the plastic packaging. And they know that they have immersed us in this, Bob. For those watching on prisonplanet.tv, here's the inside of this juice box. And if they zoom in any more, see that thin plastic? It's got it. Because after you're done drinking your little juices, well, you're ready to go out and have a baby.
So what he's referring to there is the thin plastic has bisphenol A, BPA. It's a chemical produced in large quantities for use primarily in the production of polycarbonate plastics. It is found in various products, including shatterproof windows, eyewear, water bottles that a lot of people are fond of buying in huge packages, epoxy resin, some metal food cans. So, canned food perhaps, canned vegetables, bottle tops, and water supply pipes. Wow. Research has shown that exposure to BPA can disrupt the function of endocrine system. However, the levels of exposure in most people's daily lives are unlikely to result in serious harm. Unlikely. But it says up here that it's found in water supply pipes. So it's constantly saturated with the BPA. So if you live in a city, all your water's going to have BPA in it. You drink from one of those flimsy little water bottles, that's going to be BPA. They say the level of exposure is low. But if you take into account that basically everything has this BPA chemical in it, it's not so low. So yeah, this guy was talking about how we're swimming in chemicals, and children especially. Well, an unborn baby that's still developing will get the same amounts of chemicals as anybody else. But the problem is, they're still developing. So you have a male baby that gets all this estrogen chemicals, and it turns their brain into a feminine brain. And then that's how they get their gender dysphoria. Frogs, as Alex Jones said, or this guy said, it turns male frogs into female frogs. An example from my personal life, I used to like drinking Roombas tea, but when I Googled its nutrient facts, I found that it has been shown to increase estrogen in the body. So I didn't want to take the chance of that, so I dumped it. Alright, well, I'll link the video in the description. Well, take care out there in Clown World.